We're excited to get going on the season. It's been a great start to the week. Our guys are very excited. We've been very hungry since the end of last season. We've been wanting to get Drake football back on the top of the conference, which is where we believe it should be. And we came close last year, but close isn't satisfying for us. And so we've been very, very focused. Our final year leaders, our fifth year seniors, we call them final year leaders. They've done a great job this offseason in leading our players, leading our team, and keeping us focused through the offseason. But this is really what we work for, is getting in camp, putting the pads on, getting to play the game we love with guys we love, and getting ready for our season. And it's been a real good week so far. A lot of energy from our guys, and they're just a tight team, and they're excited and motivated. You can tell my voice is struggling a little bit. We want to run up-tempo practices, and we're going to get after it on both sides of the ball. So we don't stop when we're in practice, and so it's wearing down my voice a little bit and probably our guys' legs. But we're excited about the year. We feel like we have a great group coming back on defense. We're going to miss Matt Acree and Brett Park in the middle, but we're excited about the guys who are going to step up in those positions. That's been a tradition here at Drake football of great defensive line play. A couple years ago, we were talking about how do we replace Brandon Coleman, and a couple years before that, how do we replace Dane Taylor and Andrew Asbell, and has been in the history at Drake. Defensive linemen have always stepped up. And so we expect the same this year. But we've got some great defensive ends around those guys and a great crew of linebackers coming back, led by John Huguenin, second-year captain for us, and a multiple-year all-conference player in our conference. And then in the secondary with Bob Quilico and John Bloss and Brad Dewey, all multiple-year returning starters. We believe we have a great core on defense and are excited about those guys. Drake has had a great tradition on defense, and we expect that to continue. Special teams and in the offensive side of the ball, we need to step up. That's really the area where we felt we dropped down a little bit last year, that we need to step up, and I think our guys are ready and poised to do that. We've got a great group of returners in that. We've got Camden Bonert, who was a first-team all-conference punter 2 years ago. He's back for his final year with us, and he's excited to get going. And we have a great competition going on for our kickoff and PAT field goal responsibilities with Spencer Lee graduating and attending law school. Offensively, excited about our group that's coming back. We've got Andy Rice, third-year starter, coming back, and that always bodes well when you have a fifth-year senior back there who's got that kind of experience. He's much more comfortable now with the offense and the changes we made last year, and you can just see that in practice. And so we're really excited about his leadership of our offense. And then we've got skill guys around him who are coming back. Last year we had a lot of guys we were replacing and kind of growing up who are first-year starters. We can't use that excuse anymore. The guys are ready to go. A lot of good competition throughout the skill positions for us offensively. And so we expect better things. We have to be more efficient offensively if we want to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. But one thing we talk to about our guys on a regular basis, what we believe it's really going to come down to is how we play together as a football family. That's not just a cliche for us. We live it, we breathe it on and off the field. And in our conference, with as tight as it is between the teams from top to bottom, those kind of factors are really what's going to make the difference. We'll be right in the middle of it, but it's going to come down to one or two plays in any handful of games that's going to determine our conference championship and who's representing the PFL in the FCS playoffs. And we believe those kind of intangible things, as people call them, that relate to how tight we are as a team, what our character is like, those kind of things are going to make the difference for our football team now on the field, and also as they go on and do great things as men after they graduate from Drake. Questions?
Coach, you mentioned Andy Rice. Being a third-year guy now, what are you expecting out of him?
Leadership, would be number one. The quarterback, and this, in some ways, if you haven't played the game, may sound trivial, but the last guy you hear from before you, quote unquote, go to battle, that voice needs to instill confidence in you and a calmness in you. And that leadership and what that voice represents is all the work he's done, all the ways he's related to his teammates, the confidence they have in his decisions, and then how he's going to execute it. That gives them confidence moving forward. And so that's the number one most important thing that we need from any of our quarterbacks, and we expect that from Andy with his experience and the type of young man that he is. Second of all, get the ball to the playmaker who has the best chance of making the play. If that's turn around and hand it off to a running back and those guys make the plays, or throwing the ball 40 yards downfield, you got to find the right playmaker to get the ball to and let him make a play. That's what we expect from Andy, and believe that he will do that for us this year.
How much does it help that he's got guys like Hudson and Snellback and all those guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so exciting, I think, about this group. We have our largest group of fifth-year seniors that we've had in my years here. It's 18 guys, okay? And when you get that kind of group who've been around each other for as long as they've been around each other, they know how each other thinks before it has to be said. And that's critical for a quarterback and a receiver, or receivers in this case. And so all that's going to play together to help us be successful. Give you just an example, and this gets at a little bit of football shop talk, but fade stop routes, which Tom Brady and the Patriots they're the best in the business at running that. It makes them virtually impossible to stop on the goal line. They completed a couple of them in the Super Bowl. Very difficult to complete. We've completed 3 in the past 2 days of practices. I don't think we did once last year, because it's so much about the relationship between the quarterback and the receiver. And so offensively speaking, that's the thing I'm most excited about from what I've seen in the first 2 days, because it tells me about just how that quarterback and the receiver are clicking together, so to speak.
Rick, you described last season as underachieving. Is that based on the fact that you want to go out and win a title every year?
That's exactly right. That's our expectation here. Okay, that's the Drake football history that has been set for many years here. That's what our alumni expect. That's what we expect within our department. That's what we're shooting for. And so 7-4, hey, nothing to be ashamed of. And that class last year, that team last year, I was extremely proud of. What they showed after that San Diego loss, which turned out to be for the conference championship. We lead the entire game, 1:21 left in the game, and it's a 4th and 3 play. If we stop them, we're taking a knee, and we win the conference championship when we're in the playoffs. And they run a little play action pass for a touchdown and beat us, and we had led the entire game. Then we go to Dayton, where we haven't won. Drake hasn't won since 2004. And we get behind by 2 scores early in the second quarter. And then those last 7 quarters were the best football that we played all of last year. That showed tremendous character. And I could not be more proud of how our guys responded there, because I was really worried at the beginning of that second quarter on the road playing a team like Dayton. And they came back the way they did. And so I'm very proud of that team. But our expectation is to win championships. And so that's what we're hungry about this year.
Coach, you've been around Drake for a long time, but what changes, or does something get easier year 2 of being a head coach?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that get easier. I don't know that the job itself gets any easier, but I know what to expect a little bit better. Sandy and I have talked about this in recent weeks. No matter how long you're an assistant coach, so I was an assistant coach for 27 years before becoming a head coach, but I still had never sat in that seat. And there were things, I've worked with great head coaches, but there still were things like, oh, I didn't know that Chris had to deal with this, or I didn't expect this to come up. Now, at least a little bit, I can proact more than just react to the things that are coming up in front of me. So I hope that means I do a better job as a head coach this year, but at least I'm anticipating a little better, if nothing else.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you all. We'll,
Thank you.
head